writing JAMB doesn't say you are prepared or you are not prepared, because me writing WAEC alone, it means I am prepared to sit for an exam. We hear of students that because they don't meet some certain cut of marks, commit suicide because of the economic pressure and even pressure from their family alone.
WAEC is not enough to be a criteria to enter the university. I mean, the subjects that they teach in secondary school is different from what you're going to be learning in the university.
JAMB is overrated and should be scrapped. Welcome to another episode of Streetz Debate, and today we're going into the streets of Lagos to see what people think about this. Welcome to Fruitful Studios. My name is Chibuikem Chris. Let's begin. Before we get into today's episode, you know how we do it here in our Fruitful Studios, talk and do. So we're going to award the winner of the previous episode voted by you. So ladies and gentlemen, Mope Lola.
You said in Nigeria it's not
culturally rooted.
It's not. Is it culturally rooted in Nigeria for a woman to go and work and be sharing bills with her husband?
Well, on that aspect, that is personal.
That is personal.
It's personal, but it's not normal.
No. It is abnormal. If it can be personal there, kneeling down should be personal.
Okay, if you remember, she debated that a man must kneel to propose, right?
Yes.
Perfect. And she happens to be our winner from the previous episode, and you've won yourself a sum of what? 50,000 naira.
Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm very, very happy.
So what would this 50K do for you?
I'm a baker, actually. Okay. I'm into cakes, and I have some kind of equipment I want to buy, especially kind of formica table in my store. So at least this will be enough, and it should do that for me.
Okay, hopefully your man will kneel, propose, and support you in your business.
Amen.
All right.
Amen.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you, Mupe. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, JAMB is overrated and should be scrapped. That is the motion for today. We're going to move into the streets of Lagos to see what people think about it. Should it be scrapped? Or maybe not? Let's go. JAMB is overrated and should be scrapped. Do you agree?
I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
Why?
I don't know.
You shall just agree.
No, I don't think it should be scrapped.
It's of no use. People should just get probably maybe entrance exam, let them do the exam and get into the university or polytechnic or something.
So just WAEC is enough?
Of course. How will you get into the university without JAMB? Just continue with JAMB.
Why?
So you can screen out people.
You can't just use WAEC to determine a student's capability.
Well, I think it prepares you for the kind of educational torture you are going through in the university. So when you are transitioning, it will not be that difficult.
The stress is unnecessary. After students have to go through the stress of passing WAEC, and they will still write post-UTME after JAMB. I don't see the reason why we are writing JAMB.
You want to compare JAMB and WAEC? We all know what they do in WAEC.
Okay.
So
what do they do in WAEC?
You know, they ask me. JAMB is the exam that really tests students based on their skills and what they know. They can either upgrade it, update their software and the level of credibility, but it shouldn't be scrapped.
It's not worth the stress, I beg. Literally. Yes. Just pick one exam. If you want to merge the both, and just know that they're writing only one, and everybody moves on with their life. Simple.
They should just ask us if we know what we studied in secondary school. Let's say yes, and then let's enter school.
Only that, no exam, nothing.
No.
So everything chilling.
No exams everywhere.
I feel like the rest of the exams they do is rigged.
Okay.
JAMB is the only real thing.
That's not rigged.
Yeah.
I think JAMB helps students to, prepare and sit very well for exams. I mean, while they've been playing around and all that, when it comes to JAMB, they are always serious and they don't want to fail and all that. So.
Okay, so WAEC is not enough?
No. WAEC is not enough because, I mean, nowadays they buy results, they buy WAEC results, so WAEC is definitely not enough.
Allegedly?
Allegedly, yes, okay. Allegedly.
Okay, so you think JAMB is very important, it should definitely stay?
Yes, very important.
Would you mind staying back to debates like right now with somebody that thinks that JAMB should be scrapped? And you get a chance to also win 50,000 naira if you win. All right, JAMB is overrated and should be scrapped. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know, I think it's more like a waste of time. Most times, JAMB gets into mess with most students.
Okay, so you feel like JAMB is overrated?
Yes. They
should just use other exams, they should scrap it?
Of course.
Would you mind staying back to debate with somebody who thinks JAMB should stay for a chance to win 50,000 naira?
Okay, all right.
Okay, my people, we have two amazing ladies here with me today to debate the motion that says JAMB is overrated and should be scrapped. By my right, we have
Florence.
Okay, Florence, and you are debating that it should not be scrapped. Okay, and here we have
Tommy.
Okay, and Tommy is debating that JAMB should be scrapped. All right, for the first round, you all are going to make opening statements of 1 minute. The floor is yours.
I'll start by saying that JAMB should not be scrapped because, I mean, to some extent, I think JAMB creates opportunities for everybody. It doesn't discriminate. It doesn't even matter if you go to a private university or if you go to a private secondary school or a public secondary school. Everybody comes together in the same hall to write the same exam, and you know, the best student wins. So I think JAMB should not be scrapped.
Okay, thank you. And to you?
Okay, I feel like JAMB should be scrapped because from my own perspective, I feel like JAMB is more like a waste of time to most students because they use only one exam to like determine a student's success or failure, while there are other exams like WAEC and NECO and all, and it puts students in pressure. I feel like it should be scrapped actually.
Okay. All right, now we are moving to the next segment so you can counter each other's points. Who would like to go first?
She said that there's no need for students to be pressured. Then why are you a student? The reason why you are a student is so that you take your books and you read, you write exams and you pass. If there's no pressure, then what are you doing? You need to read, you need to prepare, you need to pass. That's the focus.
Okay, writing JAMB doesn't say you are prepared or you are not prepared, because me writing WAEC alone, it means I am prepared to sit for an exam. I can basically just sit for JAMB and emotional pressure and I can even sit for the JAMB and at the end of the day end up not passing the exam. We hear of students that because they don't meet some certain cut of marks, you hear of students that commit suicide because of the economic pressure and even pressure from their family alone.
Okay, do you have anything to say to that?
WAEC is not enough to be a criteria to enter the university because, I mean, the subjects that they teach in secondary school is different from what you're going to be learning in the university. So if you don't take JAMB exams, then I don't know how you'll be prepared. And when you are saying that social pressure and all of that, I don't know. Maybe because of the world nowadays, the children, the social media and all of that. But that is not enough reason to say that they should scrap JAMB. It's never enough reason.
Okay, why not then? Let's put the financial situations of parents and even students that are struggling. Some students don't have parents to fend for them, but they like have to struggle, fend for themselves and write JAMB, and at the end of the day, they end up not even meeting a certain cut of mark. Now, JAMB is about 10,000 or so with tutorial fees, transportation fee, and even when I was writing JAMB, for example, I was meant to like pick a certain location. I put another location and it cost my dad a whole lot of money for transportation. And imagine the tutorial fee, the JAMB fee, the transportation, the midnight candles and all. And imagine me not meeting certain cut of mark for my own future ambition. Does that mean I have to wait a year after? Does that mean I have to sit down? And if the year after doesn't even guarantee that I pass that particular JAMB, then doesn't mean a student isn't prepared for exam. A student might be prepared and setting some conditions can like counter that effort, and the students will feel like they are not doing enough. And I don't think it is enough criteria to like judge whether a student should enter university or not. There are other criteria like recommendations, WAEC, NECO. We can basically use those exams and put students that are struggling into consideration. We put people that live in rural areas that doesn't even have access to computers. Because before I wrote JAMB now, I had access to computer. I was fortunate enough. Now think of those that don't have access to computers to like practice before the exam, and they get into the exam all nervous, thinking of what key to press, what is what on the keyboard. It is not enough criteria. If it's WAEC, you can basically just take your pen and your answer sheet, just tick the answer, and we know that you've prepared for this exam. I think you are prepared enough.
She's saying that some people don't have access to computers. And I think that we have a lot of people that use Android phone, and we're already going into the world of AI. So I would totally disagree on that aspect, because people are woke, like they are aware of what. So saying that they are not familiar with computer and all of that. It's not even it at all. We have people that stay hours on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook and all of that. So why not venture it into studying? And you can use the online to do so many things. You can learn, you can take courses. And then you say that there's people that need financial help and all of that. We have people that don't have parents, they don't have family members. And we also have part-time studies. So they go out, they work, they make money for themselves, and they send themselves to school. And we see that at the end of the day, they become so many important people in life today. So I don't think that is enough reason.
It's not as easy as you say it. Easier said than done. Okay, imagine I have even written the JAMB, and I chose medicine for a course because that's what I want to do. I see my future there. But because of somewhat 3-hour exam, I have to like leave my own goal alone and settle for even less. You saying that I have to like go out, work, put myself in part-time study. Imagine that I have done that. I have sacrificed enough. And now my cut-off mark doesn't meet that particular course that I want to study. And because of, I don't have enough to like start over again or wait years after, and I have to like settle for less. Imagine someone that wants to become a medical student now settling for fishery. I'm not saying fishery is not a good course, but not here in Nigeria. Not here in Nigeria where everyone is struggling and all. We have other things to pay attention to, like health, facilities, engineering, and because of somewhat 3-hour exam, I have to settle for less. And that doesn't even guarantee the fact that after school, I am going to see work immediately.
If you apply for a particular course this year, and maybe you don't meet up with the cut-off mark, we have so many skills. You can go and learn skills. And while you are learning your skills, prepare yourself. I mean, if you do it this year and you don't meet up, it is a challenge for you to go back and prepare more. So if you do it this year and you don't meet up, you can go and learn skills. Don't just sit around and wait around. You can
so
go
you
and
think
learn
that failing
skills.
JAMB is a challenge for you to do better as a student?
Yes.
Okay, what do you think about that point?
Failing JAMB isn't a challenge for you to do better. It just puts more pressure in you. It puts more pressure, even negatively. I know of people that wrote JAMB and failed JAMB. They now have to like go through corny ways just to enter university. And it is not even certain. You now hear of people saying, if you have 200, I can work it out to you. Just send me 50K. Some students don't even tell their parents. They will struggle, look for 50,000, pay that person that promised them admission, and later end up not even receiving admission. They end up going into corruption because they have tried all their best. You are saying skills is a failing JAMB is a challenge, that you should learn skills. I'm not saying skills isn't enough for you to be successful, but then your parents want you to go to school and that's the goal. I'm not saying you should not learn skills. You can be in school and still even learn skills. I learned bidding on YouTube. I did not go to any physical person to learn bidding. So you cannot say I should go and learn skills. No, that's not even it at all. Failing JAMB isn't a challenge. It just puts negative pressure, even to yourself and even to the society at large. It makes the community even more dangerous. There are people that they fail JAMB once and they are not even ready to try again. They just put themselves into negative things in the society.
She is saying that if they fail JAMB, you put them in a lot of pressure. I want to say that if you fail WAEC, do you stop there? I mean, we have people that write WAEC like 5, 7. Me, myself, I wrote WAEC like 2-3 times before I gained the admission, before I went for JAMB. So if you fail WAEC, you repeat it again, and you repeat it again, and you repeat it again. Because even without WAEC, you can't go to school. You can't further more. If you have carryover, you don't stop there. You pay for that course again, and you take it again. So that's how it is. So if it failed JAMB, you can always go again. That's it.
I am going to start with the issue of WAEC, of what you said now. You can only write JAMB once in a year. But in a year, you can write WAEC, you can write NECO, you can write GCE. That particular year, if you fail WAEC, you would buckle up, you would write GCE, you would write NECO, and it comes one after the other, unlike JAMB that just come once in a year. JAMB is just like view once. If you fail it, Otilo, go the second year. But if you fail WAEC, you can still write NECO, you have the opportunity to write GCE. And there are some universities that accept other entries. They don't base on only WAEC. You can use GCE and your JAMB to apply for the university. You can use NECO and your JAMB to, it doesn't matter. If you wanted to gain admission that particular year, you would have sat for a different exam that would enter that same university you want to go to.
So she said before that some people they cannot afford to, pay for JAMB and all that. So now if you can afford to pay for WAEC, NECO, DC, so what makes you think that they cannot afford to pay for JAMB and pay the following year when they fail?
JAMB comes with a different emotional stress. It is different from WAEC. No, don't let anybody deceive you. JAMB is different from WAEC or NECO. If I have my JAMB ready, there's nothing that stops me from struggling to pay for WAEC or NECO or GC. I can't let, since JAMB is just once in a year, and those ones comes at least 2 months if you write another exam and you might even pass it. I don't think that's actually a say.
All right, my people, you've heard compelling statements and the debates from both of them. But right now, they are going to give their final thoughts, a take-home, so that you can decide which of them is the winner of this very debate. So we started from you, now we're going to start from you. So, final statements.
Okay, imagine that I have gone to university after wasting years and years of rewriting JAMB, hoping and all. Education is meant to give hope and not to destroy your hopes. And imagine I have written those exams and all, and it gets to an extent. I am now in university, or I am fortunate enough to be in university. I have entered, I have studied my 4 years, or even if I don't encounter any strike. Now imagine I even encounter strike, and then I am now a graduate. It is the joy of every parent to see your children graduate and now go into NYSC. Now imagine I graduated at the age of 32. I would not be opportune to go for NYSC because I am above 30. Now how would that feel? It would even put more emotional damage to that particular person, because I have spent years, I have strived, I have hoped, and now I'm not even allowed to serve my father's land. And you see posts of your friends doing NYSC stuffs, they're playing around. Even Alawi self is another damage on its own. But that's just basically it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next to you.
Okay, so I want to say that I don't think JAMB should be scrapped because it helps students to prepare. Like she said, it put pressure. I don't think it puts pressures on students. It helps them to prepare because that's why they are students. You need to read and you need to prepare. If you fail the exam, you can go again. There are other opportunities. There are other options. You can learn skills while waiting. You can prepare yourself ahead. And I mean, even after going to school, you might end up not even going for that course that you studied. You can just start up a business and all of that. But if you are chasing one thing or another and you're not even focused, how do you want to, start up your own business? So I think that JAMB should not be scrapped. Thank you.
Okay, my people, you've heard compelling statements from them once again. So have they been able to convince you and not to confuse you on whether JAMB should be scrapped or not? So which of them have been more compelling? You are going to tell us. We have 5 days to vote, so make sure you vote on Fruitful Studios on YouTube. I remain your host. My name is Chibuikem Chris. I'm the event ace. Thank you so much for joining the debate. Thank you so much for joining the debate, and we'll see you again next time.